Hello science fans and welcome to SHE-ensya. Do you ever wonder what's it like to be in the wonderful world of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? Let's hear from experts, students, and aspiring STEM advocates about what it's like to be passionate about STEM. Join us in today's episode where we talk about the importance of science education and talk to SHEroes who've turned their passion into action. It's sad that it's not always obvious that science shapes our daily lives. But the fact is, science impacts countless decisions we make each day. From managing our health, choosing between a reusable bag or plastic in the supermarket, or answering a child's question as to why the sky is blue, science plays an important role in our lives. More than ever before, educators need to employ teaching strategies that inspire and prepare children to embrace science and potentially pursue it in their college and career choices. Now take note that science is the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical, social, and natural worlds through observation and experimentation. It is key to innovation, global competitiveness, and human advancement. And it is important for the world to continue the advance of the field of science, whether it's finding new cures for diseases or exploring new galaxies. But beyond the potential scientific breakthroughs, there are individual benefits to learning science, such as developing our ability to ask questions, collect and develop new ideas, solve problems, and apply what we learned to different situations. Science also involves a lot of communication with other people and develops patience and perseverance in children. Finding answers to their countless why questions independently pushes children to do research and form their own opinions, instead of taking other people's opinions at face value or for granted. And while it's easy to go along with another child's answer, or pull out a smartphone and do a quick internet search to know why the leaves fall from trees or why the sky is blue, a healthy dose of skepticism can take children farther as they explore the world around them and tackle some of its most challenging questions. And there is the fact that there is an increasing need for scientists, engineers, and innovators. And the future of the Philippines depends on the ability of our educators to create a hands-on and a minds-on approach to make science interesting, engaging, and inspiring. However, a career in education, especially science education, can be challenging. And the challenge begins early, as studies have shown that children can decide whether they like or dislike math and the sciences as early as the 4th grade. So engaging students in science content requires educators to help students see themselves as scientists and engineers, instead of just passively observing other people doing the work of science. It is about creating opportunities for the children to see science in application instead of just reading about them in textbooks. Of course, complex textbooks are important to have. But if young learners cannot grasp the information and educators are not effectively teaching the content, then it limits the students' chances for success. In this day of instant and global information access, it is very important that teachers help the students gain skills that are important to do science, instead of just the basic memorization of information. Science, after all, should be a verb and not a noun. Personally, as a child, one of the reasons I got into the field of STEM was because of how my teachers showed me that it was an exciting and challenging field. Their teaching techniques are something I keep to heart even to this day. But I wonder, what is it really like to teach science to a young audience? Well, let's hear from our SHEroes about their motivations for remaining steadfast and continuing to teach science and math to the younger generation.
Hello, science fans. I'm Christine Jane Martinez, and I'm a grade school science teacher.
Hi, science fans! My name is JC, and I am a science teacher.
Hello, SHE-ensya fans! This is Teacher Faye.
To get the ball rolling, let's first find out how our SHEroes got interested in the field of STEM.
So it's about learning, discovering, finding innovative solutions, challenges, and discovering new technologies.
When I was interviewed by a fellow Filipina for a Thai recruitment agency, she urged me to go into science teaching instead so that I could earn more. I reluctantly agreed and just resolved to see where it would go because anyway, the door was now wide open for me to work in a foreign country. I was reluctant because I never thought of myself as someone good in science, but teaching science in my first school in Thailand grew my love for it. I was encouraged by the enthusiasm and friendliness of my Thai students and co-teachers, and the novelty of working in a foreign environment.
So way back when I was still a student, I had science teachers that were very passionate in teaching science. We had rich experiences of doing experiments, different activities, doing some observations, or just merely wandering. And I find those things very interesting to do. And as I grew up, I know that I would like to be one, I'd like to be a teacher, and science to be my field of study.
It's nice to see that falling in love with science can happen to anyone. But considering the different fields of STEM, I wonder what could have led our SHEroes to go into science education.
The fact that children are innately curious and science is a subject that allows them to be curious and wonder, okay, about the things that is happening around them. That's the reason why I am teaching very children at a very young age, and I find it kilig, when I present something new to them and for the first time, and they would say, "Whoa!"
I've been challenged to handle science when it is not my forte. Since then, I was inspired to teach it, where I'm enjoying discovering things that I didn't know that I can do, especially in coaching my pupils for an investigatory science contest and science quiz.
The youngest students I have taught so far are grade 2 students, 7 to 8 years old. Teaching young teens was my comfort zone, but I couldn't help but be charmed by the baby-faced kids. They are fluent in English, very intelligent, and possess good study skills that had been ingrained in them by the school. They express awe at everything we learn, from animals to plants, forests, senses, and health.
It takes a certain level of passion and commitment to be a teacher, especially if you're a teacher to the youth. But what could be the most difficult aspects of being a teacher to a young audience?
Finding the best activities for a lesson is always challenging. I always spend a lot of time researching and think, can they do this? Will they enjoy? Do they have enough time and resources for this? I still struggle, but this improved when I studied and intentionally applied the principles of teaching and learning. I took the Professional Teaching Certification Program in the University of the Philippines Open University. Learning how to set the learning objectives and learning outcomes and choosing the right assessments helps me a lot.
Probably sustaining their attention is one of the aspects that I find it really difficult. That's why when I'm planning the lesson, I make it a point that it has, it's interactive, it's hands-on. There's also clarity with what your expectations from them, because that will guide them along the way as they do the activity.
The most difficult aspect of teaching science is when their pupils are not interested in the subject. So, it becomes a challenge for them to love it.
Doing anything of value is certainly never easy, but it is worth all the blood, sweat, and tears. But what could be the most fulfilling aspect of teaching science and math to kids that our SHEroes have experienced?
When I get the chance to talk to parents during PTC or parent-teacher conference, and some parents would mention that, oh, sure, he's really into this, and he mentioned that you talked about this one in class. So I find those things, very exciting to listen to.
Fulfilling aspects of teaching science is when you see your pupils becoming to love it, and then serves as an inspiration for them to become a scientist or a doctor. And sometimes they love to teaching.
I always feel fulfilled when I see my students smile and laugh in class, talk about their ideas confidently, and express satisfaction with our lesson. What I've learned is that I have to model first what I want them to show in class. If I want them to act like predators in a role play, I have to show them shamelessly how a hungry lion would chase a poor deer. I also know when to be serious. For example, I have to make sure they know how to use a force meter properly. So for 7 to 8 years old, they have to be careful of the sharp hook and set up a toy car experiment on their own.
The Philippines needs more scientists, engineers, researchers, and doctors to achieve a higher level of development. And our science educators are key in achieving this. So let's hear one more time from our SHEroes about their message to young Filipinas who are considering to go into the wonderful world of STEM.
For the young Filipinos who are interested going in this field of STEM, now I congratulate you, for I know that we are going to have more intelligent young ones to explore and discover news for the new development of science and technology.
Equip yourself with necessary skills. You need to attend seminars, read a lot. This will help you hone your skills then. Learn from the people around you. Learn from the senior teachers around you. Learn also from those younger ones then. Also look for someone that you can look up to. If you might have several people that you look up to, you can get bits and pieces from them, and then you build up yourself and you create your own character as a teacher.
Know your content well. Study a lot. I also encourage you to take an education course. I saw the benefits of applying the principles I have learned from my course. I felt that I have become more confident and focused in teaching. Lastly, it is important to network with people who are in your field. Reach out to them because they can have the answers that you cannot find on your own within a short time. Network also with people in your workplace, ask help, and offer help whenever you can. If you venture to teaching abroad, learn about their culture and language. Be amazed at the changes that can happen to you because you chose to be in STEM.
Thank you so much to our SHEroes for sharing with us your time, your experiences, and for helping empower fellow women in the field of STEM. Truly is amazing to get a glimpse of what it's like to be a teacher of STEM to kids. To our audience, I hope you were able to learn something from our video for today. And if you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipino scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!